We've all been celebrating the life of John Lewis, a titan of the civil rights movement who recently passed. And in talking about his legacy, one thing that I think I've noticed is that ain't no scandal, ain't no sideways. I mean, except for that one time when he was running against his boy Julian Bond and they really went neck and neck and things got a little dirty. But aside from that, it really seems like John Lewis is one of the few politicians who we can posthumously talk about without an asterisk. So here we are with 4 reasons why John Lewis wasn't an asshole. He built a bridge to the youth. That's a bridge. See, a lot of elders are like, I can't stand these Gen Zers, these Gen Xers, these millennials. They're rude, they're lazy, they're always on their phone. Not John Lewis. He was like, listen, I was a youth when I started in the movement. He was the head of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. They were the ones who were at the lunch counters saying, listen, Ma, I gotta get arrested tonight because we got to get our voting rights. So he understands, so much so that when he was at Comic-Con, he cosplayed as himself and led a children's march through the convention. What a guy. He took pictures with everybody. When John Lewis passed, everybody, including myself, posted their picture that they had with him. And listen, it is a yearbook full of photos because he was so gracious that he was willing to pose up with everybody and their mama. And I'm gonna tell you now, as somebody who hates taking pictures of everybody and their mama, that really is a testament to just how gracious of a person he was. He wasn't an asshole. He wasn't. He wasn't. He never stopped marching. He was a marching. He was a marching. From the beginning to the end. He marched in Selma. He marched with SNCC. He marched on Washington. He was the youngest person to speak at the March on Washington.
We come here today with a great sense of misgiving. It is true that we support the administration's civil rights bill. We support it with great reservation, however. Unless Title 3 is put in this bill, there's nothing to protect the young children and old women who must face police dogs and fire hoses in the South while they engage in peaceful demonstration.
And even up until he passed, he was marching with Black Lives Matter because he believed that marching was a way for us to raise our voices, to put our bodies out there, and to put what needs to be changed on Front Street. His voting record is fabulous. Now, a lot of these politicians be voting real sideways. Then they try and run for something even bigger, and you're like, your record looked real sketchy McWetchy. Not John Lewis. In '97, John Lewis voted no against the juvenile crime bill so that juveniles could be tried as juveniles and it would limit their ability to be tried as adults. Then he recently voted that trans people should be able to serve openly in the military. And he never stopped his protection of the Voting Rights Act. There was so much work and so many lives put on the line for people to get the right to vote. And they continue across many factions of this nation to suppress it and to repress it. But John Lewis, till the day he died, was like, nah, y'all ain't gonna undo the work that we did. So you see, it's no wonder people have such glowing remarks about John Lewis. He wasn't an asshole. He made a point of consistently being someone about morality, about ethics and integrity, even in the cesspool that is Washington, D.C.'s political scene. So thank you, John Lewis, for everything you have contributed to the past, the present, and for us to continue on in the future. He wasn't an asshole. He wasn't an asshole. He wasn't an asshole. He wasn't an asshole. He wasn't. He wasn't. Lando, he wasn't an asshole. He wasn't. But you might be. Smart, funny, and